Hey everyone, welcome to Encore, and today I'm going to give you guys a few tips and techniques on the basics of shading, and I'm also going to demonstrate a neutral look. It's simple, it's easy, it's quick, and we're going to apply everything that you're going to learn today. So keep on watching. Hey everyone, welcome back. So the basics of shading, everybody pretty much know how to shade, but it's just a few things that I noticed whether I'm teaching a workshop, like a hands-on workshop wherein I notice some of the students will start shading, and there are different techniques that everybody uses, and I'm just going to share with you guys some tips that is best when you are doing some basic shading. Now, the first thing that you're going to need is a good shading brush. Now, there's so many different kinds of shading brush, but the most common one is a universal shading brush, much like this one. This is a MAC 239, and it's a flat bristled brush, and it's got that oval cut, or an oval shape to the tips, alright? Now, these are not blunt cut, alright? These are the actual natural hair fibers, and it's just arranged and binded so that they kind of form an oval shape. Now, there are so many other brushes out there that looks just like this, whether it's called an oval shader brush or a shading brush. It's pretty much out there, so any brand of brushes would work, even the low Cornell ones, much like this, okay? And it can be bigger, it can be smaller, as long as the shape and pretty much the structure is the same. Now, another thing that I notice, or most of the time, is that when a lot of people start doing their eye shading, is that they tend to use the brush so that all of the bristles presses against their skin, just like you see on your screen right now, alright? And usually that's what's going to cause you some problems, because it's going to be harder to blend, you're going to get uneven application, and therefore you're going to spend more time blending that so it looks a little softer and more soft focus. So one thing that I'm going to advise and I'm going to suggest is that when you use a shader brush, try to use it so that just about a quarter of the tip or the bristles is touching the skin. At the most, half of the whole length of the bristle should be touching the skin. So to demonstrate that, I'm just going to show you guys at the back of my hand. When you're shading, it should only look like that. Okay, so as you can see, it's just the tips that's touching your skin. At the most, it should be just half the length of the brush, of the bristles. Okay, and a lot of people do this when they're applying their eyeshadow, and you're just going to end up spending more time trying to clean it up or smooth it out or blend it. And if you do it just like this when you're applying your shadow, so it's just almost the tips that's touching your skin, you're going to get a better, more flawless application to your eyeshadow. Alright? Okay, another tip is that whether you're using pressed eyeshadow or loose powder form, always make a habit of pressing the powder in first, okay? Because by pressing the powder first, it's going to help it adhere to your skin. And the natural oils, or perhaps you're using a primer, an eyeshadow primer, which I highly recommend because it makes a world of difference. It just makes your eyeshadows last longer, it stays on all day, and therefore it's going to be less effort for you to keep, touching up. So that's really cool. And what's going to do is that whether it's the natural oils in your lid or a primer, it's going to act like an adhesive to the product, so that the powder product is going to stick to the skin. And when you press it on first, by dabbing it just like this, and then brush it on, it's going to help the eyeshadow stick to the skin. So to demonstrate that, I'm just simply going to use Post-it notes. And as we all know, Post-it notes have that kind of like a tacky adhesive on the top where it sticks to surface. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use two Post-it notes. One, I'm just going to use my brush and brush over the tacky part. and the other one I'm going to dab it so that it gives a little bit more pressure. Okay, and I'm just going to put this in a smooth surface. All right, so I'm just going to put that in there, and I'm just going to brush it back and forth. All right, so just like as if you're applying your makeup naturally. Now we're going to do a second post-it note next to that, and this time I'm going to dab it first. Okay, and I'm just going to dab it first. All right, and that's giving a little bit more pressure to the adhesive, and then I'm just going to brush it on. So this is kind of like blending the colors and making it even on the skin. And once again, you know, it shouldn't be the whole length of the bristle that's touching the skin. Okay, try to limit it to at least a quarter, almost just the tips, at the most half the length of the bristles. Okay? Okay, so now, as you can see, this one right here is starting to peel. Alright, so which one do you think is going to come out first? Yeah, it's going to be this one, right? So make a habit of pressing on the product first by dabbing it on, and then using just the tip of the bristles, go ahead and spread it all over the lid wherever you want the color to be at, okay? Okay, now I'm going to demonstrate a really quick and easy neutral eye look that I'm going to apply these techniques in, alright? So it's basically just using a shading brush, and I'm going to do the dabbing motion so that it packs on the color first, and then I'm just going to brush that to the direction of where I want to place the colors. Now for the video, I used Earthen Glow Mineral Makeup, and I think I'm going to call this Gobi Desert because one of the colors is called Gobi Desert, and it's neutral earth tone colors. To speed up the demonstration, I already prepped and primed my eye area using my favorite eyeshadow primer, and I also sculpted and shaped my eyebrow so that it frames the eye look. So using my shader brush, this is the MAC 239, I'm going to apply the first color, which is called First Choice, and once again this is from Earthen Glow Minerals, and I'm going to dab and pat that onto the main lid first to pack in the color so that it adheres to the skin better. And then I'm going to brush that out towards wherever I want to place that, and for this look I'm just going to cover the main lid and brush that up and around towards the base of the brow bone. Okay, to determine where your eyeshadow should stop, always go by, and when in doubt, use the nose to eyebrow with a brush method. And what you do is you place the brush right beside your nose and then tilt it so that it reaches the end of your brow, passing the outer tear duct. And where that line is right there is always a safe place to where your eyeshadow should stop. Okay, next I'm just going to add a little bit of depth and drama to the end corner of my eye. Now this is going to give my eye a little bit more of a lift, and it's going to open it out a little bit more. Now this color is called South Beach eyeshadow, once again from Earthen Glow Minerals. Next, I'm going to apply my brow bone highlighter color, and this one is called Gobi Desert. Now I'm going to apply the same technique, which is just making sure that about a 1/4 inch of the whole length of the bristle is touching the skin. And then, to finish the look, I'm just going to add a brown liner to the top lash line. For the lower lash line, I'm just going to dab the color right into the lash line, and what I did is I swiped the angled brush against the brown pencil and then dipped that into the South Beach eyeshadow. And then curl your lashes if you wish. This is definitely optional. And then I just applied black mascara to my top lashes and as well as my bottom lashes. Now you can create a more dramatic yet neutral look by applying 2 coats if you wish. And that completes our quick neutral eye look. Now hopefully you guys learned something today about the basics of eye shading and put it to use. And again, as I always say, the more you do it, the more you get used to it. So go, practice. And thanks for joining me. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.